Pleased to welcome back here on the Rich Eisen Show one of our favorites to stop by here. He is playing the role of Lemony Snicket himself in a series of unfortunate events that's now streaming on Netflix. Patrick Warburton, good to see you, bud.
Good to see you, Rich.
Thanks for coming back in.
Thanks for having me back in.
Now, do you want to do the traffic and weather together for me here right now? Because it's pretty bad out there right now.
Sure,
correct?
Absolutely. What do we got?
How is it out there?
It's terrible.
Well, I'm glad
my
you
drive
made
is
it.
from Ventura County. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
People cannot drive around here. Are you from this area, or are you from the East Coast? Are you from this area?
I was born in Paterson, New Jersey, left when I was 3, but I still say I'm from New Jersey because it gives me more street cred than Orange County.
It gives you...
Especially as an actor.
That you're from the streets of Jersey.
That's right.
It sounds more Springsteenian.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I survived Paterson, New Jersey.
You got out at age 3.
Yeah.
You got out. So now, when you came back on last time, we talked about how you were the voice of the video on behalf of the Raiders and Chargers to move to Los Angeles.
That's right. And then neither of them show,
And now,
but now San Diego. So
right here in L.A.
Dean Spanos, did I say that right?
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
Someone should, be able to hang out down on the field a little bit, maybe. I don't know. This is my pitch.
Well, yes. Well, better late than never could be the pitch.
Right.
And now the Raiders are as of yesterday, they say they're going to move to Las Vegas. So
Which is a great spot for the Raiders, right?
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Perfect.
Now, what was that tweet that we got, Brockman, on the show yesterday? That the Raiders in their new stadium, that they're
Yeah, they should open up a strip joint next to the stadium called Black Hole, and the first what was the first person to the
the
stage?
first stripper's name will be Autumn Wind.
Oh yeah, the first dancer is Autumn
Wind to the stage.
Autumn Wind
Ladies
to
and
the
gentlemen, Autumn Wind to the stage here in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is kind of like a marriage, right, of sorts between the Raiders and Vegas.
Yeah.
in that regard.
It seems like that would be the place of destiny for them.
Yeah, in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah. They weren't going to come back. It's too weird the way they've gone back and forth between Los Angeles and Oakland. I think be a good fresh start for them.
Yeah, and so that's what they're going to do. They made that announcement. Patrick Warburton here on the Rich Eisen Show. Tell me about this series, a series of unfortunate events. I mean, how unfortunate are the events on a scale of 1 to 10, Patrick?
11. Turn the dial all the way.
Like Spinal Tap?
Yeah, but it's dark and it's miserable, but it's funny and there's humor and there's a lot of depth, breadth, and pathos to this whole series. And these books were, have been written by millions and millions worldwide, and so this is sort of the best format, the Netflix format, to really tell these stories thoroughly and comprehensively. So they take each book and make 2 episodes out of it, but it's a great cast and it was a really cool experience, and it seems to be really well received.
Yeah, Neil Patrick Harris is in this as well.
Joan Cusack and Alfre Woodard, and it was a great cast.
And so now, when it all comes down to it, Rams and Chargers here in this town, you go back to the Rams before Chargers, even though you voiced the Chargers relocation tape?
Be the Charger. I might have to go with the Chargers.
Why is that?
Well, I grew up in Huntington Beach, and and the Rams split on us, so there were hard feelings there. Now they come back, and I expect everything to be okay. Once they start winning games, maybe things will be okay.
So it's a front. You're taking the front runner approach to this
I'm
sort
going
of
to
thing.
take the front runner approach. San Diego is an original LA team.
1960.
Yep. So. And I wasn't around to get my feelings hurt when they left, so I'm probably going San Diego. I'll support the Rams. I'll support any LA team, but I've lived in a city without a football team for decades.
Yeah, isn't
now,
that amazing?
So,
now there's 2.
and now there's 2. So, and I love the game. So I've had the luxury of across the board liking teams, having grudges with teams, liking to see certain teams lose, and liking to see certain teams win, and and all the personalities. There's so many personalities in the game, and so I'd love to be a Rams fan again. Let's see what they can do here. Are they the ones who just hired the youngest coach?
30 years old. Did you ever have a boss that was way younger than you in any job that you've ever had, Patrick? Anywhere?
I did not, but he's still probably going to be older than most of the guys on that team, right?
True. But I mean, because I went through just in any job that I've ever had, somebody who's younger than me telling me what to do.
Well, it does happen to me now. I'm 52, and there are directors that are younger. And
so do you beat them up
filmmakers.
physically, emotionally? What do you do to these?
That would be a bad career move, I think. I know. It's.
What other gigs did you have before you started acting?
I drove a car for a bit. Drove a car and worked in a couple of restaurants, and I even did delivery stuff, for a while, and which was actually very satisfying. I was surprised how satisfied I felt at the end of the day, and I was doing something that I felt a trained monkey could do it: pick up packages, drive them somewhere, deliver them, pick up another one, But at the end of the day, just hanging out with my buddies, I enjoyed those first few drinks and felt like I had done something that day, because it's sometimes it sucks being an out of work actor and doing nothing. At the end of the day, you just feel like you've produced nothing.
Well, you've produced a heck of a lot in your career. What is your favorite Seinfeld episode you were part of, Patrick?
That I was a part of?
Yes. Which one?
Maybe when I sold Jerry his car, that one. There was a lot of ridiculous stuff. But I always like the show when they get really clever. I love the Second Spitter episode when they would, Kramer and Newman got spit on at the game.
Keith Hernandez.
That was the Keith Hernandez two-parter where he was also, Jerry was helping him move.
So they draw, the way they draw out the episode is the whole thing, it's like the John F. Kennedy.
Back into the left.
Yeah, so that was fun. Now, I was just in New York, and I just bumped into Jerry Seinfeld in a diner randomly, which was very strange.
No, what do you mean? You just bump into him, just turn around, and there he is?
Well, I got a tap on the shoulder, and I turned around, and it was Jerry. He goes, "What are you doing here?" I go, "Just here for a few days." He goes, "Come have breakfast." So I sat down with them and Colin Quinn, and then Jerry invited me to his house, and I had dinner with him and his lovely wife and their 3 kids. But if I lived in New York, I'd go years and years without bumping into Jerry Seinfeld. And I was in a random diner, and because I haven't seen him in 7 years, so
it had been 7 years.
Well, since we did the B movie together.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, were there any moments that you ad-libbed or something? Was the high five ad-libbed? Was there anything that you ad-libbed at all?
Not so much. They had such a great staff of writers, and every now and then you might try something, but it was mostly all there. You would do an episode, and it would inspire the writers to want to write for a character and do different things. So, because Putty, that was it was just a 1-episode deal. But they liked him because he was such a big idiot, and they said, we need to integrate
So you were
him.
just going to be a one-and-done character when you were first brought on?
Yeah.
And then suddenly you kept getting scripts, and how many did you wind up doing?
Only 9 regular season episodes, 10 including the final episode. But I could have done more. I was on another series at the time, and it was a CBS show. And so for seasons like 7 and 8, I couldn't go back on Seinfeld. So it was season 6, I did 2 episodes. Yeah. But then season 9, when season 9 came about, I had no other commitments, and so I was able to come back on the show.
That's fantastic. Yeah. One time I was just on the Upper West Side of Manhattan years ago when I was on SportsCenter, about 15 some odd years ago. I'm standing there. A buddy of mine's going to get to pick me up to play golf. So in New Jersey, I'm standing there with my golf clubs right there on the corner of 81st and Columbus on the Upper West Side. And a black SUV pulls up at the red light, back window rolls down, and it's Jerry Seinfeld. And he looks at me and he goes, "Hey, Rich Eisen," because he watched SportsCenter, and that blew me away. I'd never met him before. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever, until he opened his mouth again. He goes, "So, 81st Street, par 4, par 5, just like that."
Yeah.
And then, boom, the light changed and it went away. I'm like, that was the greatest.
Yeah.
So maybe Jerry's just driving around or sitting around in
diners
just to be bumped into.
I'm not going to tell everybody exactly where Jerry Seinfeld lives, but that's right around the area.
So it was just boom. I'll never forget. It's par 4, par 5, and then just boom, just went up. It was fantastic. So good luck to you with a series of unfortunate events.
Thank you.
This looks great. It's fun. We're about to see a clip of it for the television audience.
Oh,
so
let's see.
Thank you for coming in. You want to ask Patrick a question before we?
I mean, you obviously were the Tick in the original series. New series coming out.
Yes.
Have you been able to catch any of that, or was there any interaction with you, maybe being a part of that, or?
Yeah, I saw the
cameo?
pilot episode. I'm on as a producer. It's a different take on the Tick. And Peter Serafinowicz's Tick is a little bit drier, a little more Adam West-ish. And
nice.
But I think it'll be fun. It'll be cool. So
Nice.
yeah.
Wow, drier than you.
Drier.
I mean, that's you're
Well,
you're pretty.
my Tick was a little bit more insane and ridiculous.
Out there.
So you're
Yeah,
calling
this will be a little darker, I think.
Adam West darker and more sane version. I like it.
Yeah.
You know who Adam West is, by the way?
The original Batman.
Okay,
Come on.
good. I just want to make sure. Because anytime that there's a pop culture reference that predates like 1987, sometimes these guys are in the dark.
I don't know who played Robin though.
Isn't he the mayor
Burt
of Family
Ward.
Guy or something?
Burt Ward.
Burt
There you
Ward.
go.
Look at me. I pulled that out of a particular orifice. We've got Patrick Warburton here. Our best of the week. We had some great shows in Washington, D.C. That's coming up next year on The Rich Eisen Show.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.